Hey everybody, this is Perch. We got a new DC comic book out, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And there's a new Amazing Spider-Man writer as well, who's kind of the current writer or old writer-ish, right? Yeah, Spider-Man. Where's Paul going? I think that's what we all want to know. Anyway, before we get to that, look, kind of as a public service announcement, Jordan Crow, that's Jordan, Jordan, Crow, Crowe, and I'm spelling it out for a reason. You'll understand why. Anyway, Jordan Crow is fighting cancer. And if you are in the position to be able to do so, there's a Give, Send, Go campaign or campaign. Anyway, you can give money through Give, Send, Go to help Jordan Crow fight cancer. So you can do that. Jordan Crow works somewhere in and around Eric July, and I'm perfect. I paid attention to the important thing in the story, which was, a creator who makes comics could use some money, and so I'm giving that information out to you if they have the opportunity to provide some money. I'm not sure what Jordan does exactly for Eric, nor does it matter, quite frankly. So no pressure, but if that's something that you're able to do, I'm sure that Jordan will appreciate the help with cancer. So go to Give, Send, Go. You can search up Jordan Crow from what I spelled this morning, just now. I don't know. So much time is passing on the Perch Show, and you could go do that. And it's, that's really all there is to it. So what are the big announcements? Well, first off, the Marvel announcement, because I'm going to talk a lot less about that one. We have a brand new Spider-Man #1 coming April 9th of 2025. And Joe Kelly is the new series writer. And he says, get ready. Nick Lowe is partially doing this whole thing. And he says, get ready for a new horizons, bold new horizons. In fact, not just new, but bold new. And the supporting cast, including Norman Osborn and Peter's new girlfriend, Shay, feels like you're missing out. It feels like you're missing a couple key people in that supporting cast here for old Spider-Man, but I don't know. Anyway, Joe Kelly says, even though this is a new #1, I don't think of it as a restart per se. I'm writing the next chapter of the story of one of the world's greatest characters, lucky enough to follow in the footsteps of the person before me. Well, some of those footsteps are really good footsteps. Others are big, dumb footsteps. Don't follow in those. Anyway, we're promising that we're going to get, let's see, here's a solicit. The new run finds Peter without a job and looking for gainful employment, but his job search, I like how, by the way, the goal is let's make Peter Parker more relatable. That's why he can't be married to MJ anymore. So he has no job, and he's looking for a job. Thank you, Biden, for your terrible economy. I'm just kidding. Anyway, his job search is interrupted by a rampaging Rhino who is but the tip of a sinister iceberg. What major spider villain is working behind the scenes, weaponizing other spider villains, including one we haven't seen in over 7 years? And what is that goblin-free Norman Osborn up to these days? Anyway, all of this will lead to a betrayal by Norman Osborn, who is Green Goblin. That wasn't in solicit. I added that myself, but feels like a decent guess. Anyway, on art duties, we have John Romita Jr., who was on the last run, and then Pepe Larraz, who will be doing some, and then a bunch of really shitty fill-in artists, so we won't talk about in this press release. But anyway, that's coming. Joe Kelly is a new writer. He's also a little bit the current writer for Spider-Man, but there you go. So that's what we got coming out for Marvel. So what do we have coming out for DC? Well, DC has the amazing story of a brand new. Are you ready for this? A brand new a teen book spinning out of absolute power. This is Secret Six. I almost said Sinister Six because my head was still on the previous announcement. Anyway, Sinister Six by Nicole Maines and Steven Segovia will be doing this title, and this one is spinning directly out of DC's Absolute Power, which seems like a bad idea given that it didn't do amazingly well. But anyway, that's what it's spinning out of. And the basic summary is that 3 heroes, I'm using that word loosely, will be basically teaming up with 3 villains to try and figure out the mystery of where Amanda Waller has gotten. At the end of Absolute Power, she was imprisoned for crimes against humanity, labeled a war criminal. And and then she was put in prison, and she's vanished into thin air. No fat shaming here. She's vanished into that thinnest of air. And so some heroes and villains have to come together to try and figure out what's going on. So those heroes are Dreamer, who is first kind of created and pinned in that Supergirl series by the writer of this, Nicole Maines. So we have Dreamer, John Kent, and Jay Nakamura are our heroes, and they will be teaming up with Catman, Deadshot, and Black Alice to form the new Secret Six, who are going to try and unlock an infinite trove of secrets as they go to discover where Amanda Waller has gotten off to. And, they will need to uncover their roles in a larger chess game without letting their own individual secrets tear them apart from the inside. This is a 6-issue limited series. Dreamer worked with Amanda Waller, of course, in Absolute Power. John Kent Superboy was kidnapped and transformed by Brainiac Queen into working for Amanda Waller, and Jay kind of just hung around. Anyway, the interesting in the interview when they're talking about this book, they mention that the exciting part of teaming up 3 heroes with 3 villains, particularly 3 of DC's youngest heroes, is it potentially puts them down the path to become like the villains with whom they are working. And so the excitement is, John Kent, Jay Nakamura, and Dreamer, I'm reading the quote here, they're all at a crossroads right now at the start of their potential villain origin stories. So having them team up with these Secret Six veterans, all former villains, feels like a mirror into their futures. I guess I don't quite get that. I know Dreamer, as mentioned before, was working with Amanda Waller, and so you have something there. But John Kent, is there? Are we looking into his villain? Is he at a crossroads where he's starting to think about being a villain? I mean, I don't know. I mean, did I miss that? Jay Nakamura is kind of a blank slate, and I've mentioned before on this channel that a good outcome for him, and probably a good outcome for John Kent, the character, would be to let Jay Nakamura become a villain, and that becomes basically John's version of Lex Luthor, only with a more personal connection because they were dating. But have they been teasing that John Kent is turning a villain, other than when he was literally taken over by an alien cyborg and then turned into a mindless kind of zombie villain by the villains, and then he was rescued and took revenge on that? I don't get that, but maybe. Anyway, so this book, as I said, 6-issue limited series, and at least has some of the interviews are kind of speculating, pondering that we're going to get some major kind of heel turns out of this, and that at least one of these 3 heroes, maybe more, are going to turn villain. And so if this is a series that is setting up Jay Nakamura to be a villain, then interesting. The argument is that Dreamer continues to be a little bit of an anti-hero, and John Kent learns that there's shades of gray in the world, and it's not so clear cut behind hero and villainy, and it will help him in his path to become the new Superman someday when his dad dies. And Jay Nakamura is there to, I don't know, give him kissies. I'm not sure. Jay Nakamura needs they put he's a super powered journalist, but an independent journalist who's fighting for the truth, and a bit of a revolutionary as a result, given his powers. But they've done very little with that character beyond that. It's kind of like the one paragraph they wrote to, I don't know. It just seems like. Anyway, are you buying Secret Six? I admit, I didn't love the original series. It's one of those things that a lot of people into comics, a lot of people my age, a lot of people who are collecting, really loved the Secret Six series. It never took for me like a lot of others did. But are you buying this one? Are you buying the Joe Kelly Spider-Man book? Is that a plus? I still think this is where Marvel and again, they will never do it. But when you're in business and you're trying to make money off something, every now and then you got to take the easy path. You don't always have to take the hard path. And the easy path in this case would be kill Paul. Just kill him. If you put in the solicitation, a major Spider-Man supporting character will die in this issue. Buy it to find out who it is. P.S. It's Paul. That would be the smartest thing in the world. Just come out with it and just say, in 4 issues, we're going to be murdering Paul. You would have so many people who would buy that issue just to be glad he's dead. But just pop the sales. My God, what's wrong with you? I still, if Marvel's ever in, I'd hope to God somebody inside that company realizes this. If they're ever in dire straits, where Disney's like, you guys better put some better numbers up on the board, or we're done. All they have to do is there's very simple things, and one of them would be, we're relaunching Spider-Man #1 in this issue. We're killing Paul, and Peter and MJ are going to do it. That's there you go. That's what you're getting in this comic. Anyway, look at the hype for Ultimate Spider-Man #1 and how well it's doing. Given not a lot happens in that issue. Just read the Christmas party issue, and I mean, good God, not much is happening at all in this comic. But just the, hey, Peter and MJ are married and have kids. That's enough. Like, literally, that's all that you need. Anyway, are you buying any of these books? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course. And thanks for listening.